Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a tutorial on this look that I'm wearing right now. I posted a picture on Instagram the other day wearing a similar look and the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Echo, which is what I really wanted to play with. This isn't exactly the same look. I ended up using warmer shades because I feel it balances out the look a lot more and it just makes your complexion a little bit more alive because it is a very vampy and dark color. I think it is beautiful. I'm very happy with how it turned out. If you guys want to see how to create this look, then keep watching. Okay, first thing we're going to do is prime our eyes. I'm using the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. I'm just spreading it all over my lid up to the brow bone, and of course my brows are already done here. I didn't want to bore you. Next we're using White Chocolate from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. Because the base is kind of sticky, this is going to help make blending a lot easier. Now we're using my favorite shade in this palette for blending. This is Salted Caramel. It's a gorgeous, warm caramel shade, and I'm blending this into my crease and outer corner. This is going to help soften and warm up the look. Blending is really going to be key in this look, so just take your time. Now we're moving on to the color Semi Sweet. This is a warm, medium brown shade, and I'm just blending this into my outer corner. For this look, I wanted a smoky outer corner, bright inner corner. So I'm using a rounded blending brush and just blending until I feel I've deepened it up enough. I'm actually going to go in with a darker shade later on because I feel like it could be a little bit more smoky. Really take your time with this and make sure that the shape is more cat-like when you're blending out the eyeshadow. Now we're going into Triple Fudge to further deepen up the look, and what I did here was kind of just go in circles, and I felt that that really helped to keep the color just in that outer corner. It blended perfectly with the other shades and it just helped to keep everything where it needs to be. Now we're going back to our initial blending shade and making sure everything looks good and seamless. Once you're done blending out the outer corners, you can go back into the White Chocolate shade to blend out the edges, make sure there are no harsh lines and that it fades into nothing. Now we're moving on to Marzipan. This is going to be our inner corner lid shade, and I'm using a bit of Fix Plus to foil the eyeshadow, make it a little bit more metallic. I'm placing this in the inner half of my lid and blending it out. You can really intensify this eyeshadow as much as you'd like. Now we're moving on to the color Creme Brulee. This is a golden shade. It's not extremely bright, but I didn't want it to be too bright. I didn't want to go overboard. And I'm placing this in the outer half of my lid. Now we're going back to Salted Caramel and blending everything together. Moving on to complexion, I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Hydrating Primer. This has been my favorite. My skin has been really dry and this keeps my foundation looking flawless. Next, I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. This has actually become one of my favorite foundations because the coverage is beautiful and natural, but I can use it in certain areas where I need a little bit more and it doesn't look cakey at all. I like to spread it all over my face first and then use a brush to kind of stipple it in and blend it around the edges. I find this method works really great if you like that full coverage. I have some acne scarring and imperfections on my face and I don't like using concealer for those, and I find this foundation is great to cover up those areas without having to use the added step of concealer. Moving on to concealer, I'm using my favorite, the MAC Pro Longwear. I wear the shade NW15 and I'm just placing it in a triangle shape underneath my eyes. I also like to put this where I would normally highlight because the pump is ridiculous and I don't like wasting product. I'm using a Sephora Collection sponge to blend this all out. This is a really good dupe for the Beauty Blender. I actually like it better than the Real Techniques sponge. To set my under eye area, I'm using the e.l.f. Studio High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. This is a very finely milled powder and it's really great because it also brightens the area. And I'm using an e.l.f. blush brush to apply this, which is amazing. Moving on to the eyes once more, I'm using Cherry Cordial and I'm running this on my lower lash line just to balance out the look. I don't want it to be really top heavy and then nothing on the lower lash line. And then I'm going into my BH Cosmetics 120 color palette. This is the second edition. I needed a coppery red tone shade. This is what I'm using, and I'm gonna use a pencil brush to smudge it out and make it real smoky. For eyeliner, I'm using my favorite, which is the Kat Von D Trooper, and I'm just going to do a wing. I did my best to film this for you, but it is really hard to put liquid eyeliner on camera. Now it's time to curl the lashes and apply mascara. This is the Voluminous Miss Manga, and I'm only going to apply one coat because we will be using falsies today. To set my makeup, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder. This is going to make sure everything stays in place. And then we are going to load up on the bronzer. The lipstick we're going to be using does wash me out a little bit at least, so I do like to load up on the bronzer. I'm using the NYC Sunny, which is a really nice warm color, and just really all over the place, making sure your skin looks warm. To keep with the warm theme, I'm using my favorite blush. This is Milani's Luminoso. I don't want to go overboard with color because I do want my lipstick and my eyes to stand out, so this is the perfect blush to do so. It also gives you a very nice glow. Now it's time for the lips. This is Kat Von D's Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Echo. I usually treat this like I'm applying a lip liner. I go around the edges very carefully with the first coat just to make sure everything is within the lines, and then I can go over with the second coat just to make sure it's nice and pigmented. Once I'm done with the lipstick, I like to go over it with some concealer, making sure the edges are very clean. And this is a brush by Real Techniques, and it works really well for this purpose. Now it's time for falsies. I almost forgot. These are the Kiss lashes in Ritzy. These are my current favorite. They look really nice and they're very comfortable. And I like to use the Revlon lash glue. I think it's the best at keeping the lashes in place, and it's very affordable. Once I'm done applying my lashes, I like to go over it with a little bit of liner just to make sure that the glue is actually concealed. And then I use a little bit of mascara to blend my own lashes with the falsies. I feel like it just looks more put together this way. To finish off the look, I'm using the Rimmel London Scandal Eyes Waterproof Kohl Liner in Nude just to give the appearance of larger looking eyes. And that's it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you get to recreate it. If you like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you do get to recreate the look, make sure to tag me on Instagram or social media. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye! A couple of weeks ago, Ulta had a buy one, get one half off sale on NYX eye products. So I got two of the Avant Garde palettes.